as a country. Last year, the government almost collapsed. But 2008, the country almost collapsed.
Yes.
And for me, that was so scary. For the first time in my life, I went through post-traumatic stress disorder. I realized the symptoms afterwards. A great moment was when Kibaki became president.
Oh, okay.
I think because we'd really been trying to get a change for the longest. And those of us in civil society had been fighting around it and all that.
Okay.
So when the change did come, I remember somebody even telling me, why don't you go to the podium? No, me, I was dancing with Shikuti dancers. On the streets.
Glorious moment.
Yeah. You guys have never seen things like that.
Okay.
I am very grounded in my faith. And because I am grounded in my faith, if you listen to me speaking, I speak from a position of faith. I'm not a flamboyant person in terms of my faith. And I am not a people pleaser in terms of my faith. And I am not, I don't conform in terms of my faith. But I have a very simple relationship with God. That's how I like to look at it. And if there is a group of people that have been mistreated and treated very badly over and over and over in this country, it is the Luos. And that is why, for instance, I can see now that people are very angry when they see that the Luos are warm towards President Ruto. But believe you me, for the first time in a long time, the Luos are seeing development, as we are not used to such things.
And we are training doctors, which is a very good thing as a country. I think every year we have at least 1,500 doctors who are graduating. I'm one of them. But how comes we are not seeing these numbers in the hospitals? How comes these doctors are adding to the list of unemployed youths in the country? What do you think is a problem, and what do you think should be done to help in this?
Hello, good people. Susie Uledada, living positively regardless. Doesn't matter the point at which you are in life, but we rock positivity all the way.
Hi, everyone. And I'm so happy, Susie, to finally meet and just to converse.
Yes.
And I'm also very happy that you've started with prayer. Yeah, that's important. Yeah. You know, the issue of infertility and not childbearing is the unspoken. It's one of the unspokens. Of course, Martha Karua is a very strong personality, which is good because it then lifts her up. You know, everybody now, probably in Tanzania, now knows Honorable Martha, even those who didn't know her. Well, my journey is both short and long. When I started working, of course, for FIDA, now it was just a complete eye-opener. And I saw what women were going through. And for the longest time, perhaps it could also have contributed to my staying single for very long. Because my brothers, I remember at some point, told me you need to leave FIDA because you are not going to get married. Because I was complaining about men all the time. There are footprints that I can say in this Katiba, I brought this. In one of them is, of course, the minimum amount that goes to the counties. It was going to be lower than 15. Actually, there was no capping. So it meant the counties could have been at the charity of the national government in terms of the amount. And I pushed that there must be a minimum capping. We were pushing for 40. We didn't manage 40, so I pushed for 15. So 15% going to the counties, I can proudly say I did that. The issue of victims of crime, I can proudly tell you I did that. Some of the provisions of women, I can proudly tell you I did that. Intellectual property rights and on plans, that one we worked a lot with Wangari Maathai. I can tell you I did that because in my other world, I am also very environmentally conscious.
So guys, that was our first session with Honorable Millie Odhiambo. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you have picked one thing. And now we take a short break. We'll be coming back with my colleague, Dr. Karanja Joke, who will be taking us to the next session with Mheshimiwa.
All right. Thank you again for this part of the session.
Yeah.
Again, my name is Dr. Joshua Karanja. I graduated from the University of Nairobi. So, well, I'm still a Gen Z. I was born just at the cut line. So it's such an honor to be hosting you today.
Thank you.
This is such a wonderful moment. I've seen you on the screens, but today I have the honors to be with Mheshimiwa.
Thank you.
Now, for me, with the earlier session, I was to ask the question of which were your greatest moments in politics, or rather in your political life. And I've heard you mention quite a number, which have really impressed me, because I really long to hear someone who has said, I've done this rather than I will do this. Yes, so I don't know if maybe there is something you could add on that, or...
Well, of course, in terms of the moment, I would tell you that when we actually deliver the Constitution. When we deliver the Constitution, for me, that's like one of the greatest moments that the country has seen.
Okay.
One, because most of us were actually unified as a country.
All right.
It is very rare. You know, we are always divided politically.
Sure.
But that time, we were almost 90% of the country had come together.
Okay.
There was a very small portion that was outside.
Yes.
But out of this portion, out of this collection of people that had come together for the Constitution, if I remember, we went to, was it Uhuru Park?
Yes.
And Emily Kosgei was singing, and we stood up and we were dancing. I think for me that was one of the most magical, you know, moments in the country.
Yes.
Just seeing so much hope with a new constitution, and it's something that we had agitated for.
Yes.
I had been beaten on the streets from the civil society, trying to have a change. So for me, that's really one of those moments. Secondly, I think for me, one of those major moments was after the post-election violence. And even though it still had mixed whatevers,
yes,
but the country was really on the brink of collapsing. Even what happened last year does not compare. I know the young people don't understand that.
Yes.
But some of us are a bit more calm when we see this, because we came to a brink of collapsing as a country. Last year, the government almost collapsed. But 2008, the country almost collapsed.
Yes.
And for me, that was so scary. So when I saw the president and my party leader shaking,
yes,
even though we felt more aggrieved as a party, because we really believed, which has actually been proven over time, because people have said that we actually won.
Yes.
But sometimes you have to be magnanimous, and I was happy that my party leader was willing to let go.
Yes.
Even despite the win, and the coming together as a country helped. And I can assure you, because I've been in this parliament now for a while, one of the best times, even in terms of delivery, was that parliament.
Oh, wonderful.
Yet it was a parliament that was actually wrote in, was built in, what do you call it? I hear a lot of people saying, oh, you know, you've shaken hands on the bloods. And it will become evident after some time that there was a big difference.
Yes.
And the way it will become evident is that there was a big, how would I say it? It will become evident because even then, we lost 1,200. We lost 1,200 Kenyans, and I, for the first time in my life, I went through post-traumatic stress disorder. I realized the symptoms afterwards because I was helping my party to collect information about our people.
Yes.
People were calling me, and the stress just got into me. People were in distress. People were carrying. I met today the one that stuck in my mind. I was even mentioning it yesterday.
Yes.
It's a woman who carried the head of her husband because she couldn't transport the body to Kisumu. So she wanted proof of death. She carried her head to show. There's this guy who was burnt with the entire family. He survived, but he had a very high percentage burn. And for me, one of the greatest ones was seeing, saddest was seeing a camp. Again, I mentioned it yesterday.
Yes.
Of people who are distressed. Yet they couldn't come together because they were divided along ethnic lines.
Yes.
People who had been displaced. Luos who were displaced, but they could only be in a camp of Luos, Kisis and Luyas. And then there's another camp of Kikuyus and Kambas.
And they're in the same situation.
They are in the same situation.
Yeah.
So for me, that was the moment of just coming together to heal the country. For me was just an amazing one.
All right.
But then also the other great moment was when Kibaki became president.
Oh, okay.
I think because we'd really been trying to get a change for the longest. And those of us in civil society had been fighting around it and all that.
Okay.
So when the change did come, I remember somebody even telling me, why don't you go to the podium? No, me, I was dancing with Shikuti dancers. On the streets.
Glorious moment.
Yeah. You guys have never seen things like that. When the country really comes together, almost 90% of the country. And I'm really praying that God will enable that happen. And I'm sure many of you would think that when you say one term, that will be the moment. That won't be the moment, because President Ruto also has people supporting him. Even if you were to go, that won't unite the country. What would unite the country would be a different thing. And I'm praying that phenomenon comes much sooner than later, something that brings us all together. There are rare moments. And for the people who are older, they told us when we were, for instance, the Katiba moment, the Kibaki moment, they told us it was like independence. So I hope in your lifetime,
we will experience such a moment.
You get such a moment.
Okay. And before I go far, there's something I've heard you mention about your Christian background. And I'm intrigued, how do you blend in your strong principles with the Christian foundation, with the politics that in Kenya is known like the dirty game, a place where it's like, where something has to spill on you, I don't know, how does that go?
Actually, part of the reason that I'm very strong is because of my faith, which people don't know. I am very grounded in my faith. And because I am grounded in my faith, if you listen to me speaking, I speak from a position of faith. I'm not a flamboyant person in terms of my faith. And I am not a people pleaser in terms of my faith. And I am not, I don't conform in terms of my faith. But I have a very simple relationship with God. That's how I like to look at it. I have a very grounded and simple relationship with God. And in my grounded and simple relationship with God, I look at things from that perspective. And it is actually what draws me back when sometimes I want to go off. Like, I'll give you an example. If there are people who have suffered injustice in this country, over and over and over. It's a Luo community. And I'm Suba, but I'm also Luo. I'm half Suba, half Luo. I know a lot of Kenyans don't understand what that means. The Subas are Bantu. My father was a Suba. My mother is Luo. But Subas are assimilated largely, so people see Subas as Luos. But Subas are actually Bantus. So I define myself a lot of times as Luo because I was also raised as Luo. And if there is a group of people that have been mistreated and treated very badly over and over and over in this country, it is the Luos. And that is why, for instance, I can see now that people are very angry when they see that the Luos are warm towards President Ruto. But believe you me, for the first time in a long time, the Luos are seeing development, as we are not used to such things. Even when market has been brought in my place, in other areas, you would be like, because I remember when we went to Nyeri the other day, and the president counted when Wamunyoro was still with him. And that's when I noticed kuna shida hapa. So even Wamunyoro was smart to actually leave because he was just smart. He wanted to be thrown out. Because he noticed the ground was very hostile in Nyeri when we went there. And they counted like 7 markets. And the public was unimpressed. As
like,
President Ruto came and counted one, and people were like, why? Because
it's the biggest thing we have
that's
seen.
the biggest thing. Because the Luo land has been marginalized over and over and over.
Okay.
Secondly,
yes,
the Gen Zs are really mad because a lot of young people were killed, and for which I feel very sad.
Okay.
But do you imagine we go through that every election cycle?
Yeah, that's true.
We bury more than 20, 30 young people, sometimes hundreds.
Yes.
Like the post-election, they were in hundreds.
Yes.
We buried young people.
Yes.
And a lot of times we actually see them live, their bodies.
Yes.
Like the last time I went to Kisumu, most of our members refused to go in 2 years ago. But I went to the morgue. And there were bodies of, I think there were almost 20 young men on the floor.
Sad.
And the other day, the election before that, we had them at the city mortuary. And we had coffins of young people, lying there. And sometimes your ethnic energy comes out. And I want to abuse people ethnically. What pulls me back is my faith.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. So my faith actually, even when it is very, very difficult.
Yes.
And then one of the things I can tell you about is that there are many, many people who pray for me from different communities.
Okay.
I have people who pray for me from, in fact, earlier today they were saying, we have students from Kalau. I was like, wow. I have a friend there who is always praying for me from there.
Yeah.
I have friends from all over the country of different tribes, of different whatevers. That the only unifying thing is our faith.
Sure.
But again, as I've told you, if there's one thing I don't put ahead for the public is that. No.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's anybody's business. My relationship with God is my relationship with God.
Wonderful.
Because I also don't want people dictating. Because I think there's a lot of hypocrisy around faith. That's why you see, for instance, today we had the prayer breakfast. I've never attended any. Because I want, for me, prayer and faith is a very personal
issue.
Yes, and I want when I'm dealing, it has to be from a place of reality and a place of genuineness. So if I'm praying, I pray. I have my moments when I move back. Like if there's one place that has tested my faith is politics. Like I can go almost. There was a point I pray daily, but there was a point when I was so angry. I think I went almost half a year. I didn't want to mention anything to do with faith because I was like, God, how do you allow young people to die like this? How do you allow a community to be so hated and to be so despised? So for me, it really hit. Okay. But God is amazing. It just takes you back to that beautiful place. Yes.
That is glorious. I think I have two final questions for you so that I may let you go. I know you have a busy schedule. But there are two things I really feel I really needed to hear your input. One of them is, personally, I'm a medical doctor. And we are going through a very tough season in the health sector, especially in terms with the health workforce. In this time, the statistics are really bad because according to WHO, the doctor-to-patient ratio should be 1 to 1,000 patients. Currently in Kenya, according to the KNBS standards, which is a government institution, place it at 1 is to 5,263 patients, a big gap there. And we are training doctors, which is a very good thing as a country. I think every year we have at least 1,500 doctors who are graduating. I'm one of them. But how comes we are not seeing these numbers in the hospitals? How comes these doctors are adding to the list of unemployed youths in the country? What do you think is the problem and what do you think should be done to help in this?
Again, as I told you earlier, we are having a challenge as a country right now. And it is a challenge that is historical. It is historical because there's been a lot of accumulated debt. We had a youth bulge which we knew about, but we didn't effectively plan for. So it's caught up with us. And recently I saw online somebody sharing a story. I forget his name. He's a popular guy on, I think he runs a YouTube channel. I forget his name. And he was saying about how he met this guy who is a doctor.
Selling Minji.
Selling Minji.
Yes.
And it really touched a nerve in me. And I understood it because I've met somebody else who has a master's, a TC guy. And he was driving Uber. And he told me, I've really tried to look for a job. I was told to go and do master's. My opportunity was be higher. And I did, and now I'm driving.
Back here.
Yes.
Yes.
And so it is a challenge. Are there quick solutions? No. I will tell you there are no quick solutions. It's one of the things that even at a personal level, I've been trying to grapple with. Opposition and opposition, it's something that we need to come together and not politic about and help the country find a solution. It doesn't matter who comes in as the next president.
Yes.
The challenge will be the same.
Be the same.
What is going to happen, we say Ruto one term aende, wacha afanye, let's assume he does one term and aende. Somebody else comes in. The problems are the same. So then the next thing will say, huyu pia one term aende na ataenda. Then it will become one term and spiraling. Yeah. And that's why for the first time you're seeing massive migration.
Yes.
And I think the government agency, the Bureau of Statistics, is actually giving a very conservative estimate. If you actually zeroed it down,
yes,
the population in my constituency is over 300,000. One doctor, sometimes none.
Yes.
So it is actually not to 1 to 5,000.
It's 1 to 300,000.
In some instances,
yes,
it's 1 to 300,000.
Yeah, because actually right now we have a strike in Kiambu County. I had the number of doctors is 200 in a county of over 1 million people, and maybe there are people, especially in the medical field, who feel that there was a big challenge when you devolved health to the counties, in that in the past, before that, doctors used to be absorbed by the national government, by the Ministry of Health. Currently, you find we need to get a specific county to employ doctors. So do you feel reverting to the old system could be part of the solution? Because I feel it's quite a crisis. You know, it's really depressing.
No, it's not nice.
I have been in school over 8 years. And with all
you
this
don't even
knowledge,
need to go through there. A doctor has no business doing Minji.
Exactly.
Why did you have to go to school? A lawyer has no business doing Minji or selling. I know a lady lawyer who was selling omena. And I'm like, when did we reach here? So I can tell you for a fact it is a challenge.
Yes.
The health sector. And I'm glad I was seeing the other day Dwale was doing set up a team to even relook at SHA, because there'd been a bit of an outcry about SHA.
Yes.
And I was actually just telling our team here that, you know, when there's a lot of outcry, really look and so you decipher between the politics and the genuine and the concerns.
Yes.
So sometimes just stop and look. So for me, that's an important thing. But I would want to say that in terms of reverting back to the national government could be a solution, but it would be sort of
surface
solution.
Yeah, true.
The big thing is actually getting our counties to work. And right now, I don't think we have a very strong accountability measure.
Yes.
The Senate was supposed to be that accountability measure. And I think for some reason the Senate is not able to do that efficiently.
Okay.
At first they said they didn't have an oversight fund to do it. For the last 1 year now they have an oversight fund. So I'm hoping things will change because the counties should be able to efficiently manage health. I know right now the bigger challenge is sometimes the counties get their monies delayed.
Yes.
But the reason they have the monies delayed is, of course, the same economic challenges that I was telling you we are facing.
Okay.
And then the government, of course, nobody wants more taxes, yet you need the taxes. So it's a chicken and egg kind of situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe a plea as when you there champion for us, I think the health of our country needs to be relooked at, especially the workforce. Maybe reverting to the national government is a debate to be discussed later, and maybe listen to what the doctors feel or what are their suggestions to it. And I would like to wind this up and thank you a lot for your time, and maybe comment that we are also appreciating the good work that you've done and also the government is doing. I'm grateful to the CS Duale for the good work. I think we have been promised to be posted in July.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
really uplifting.
That's good.
And we believe that actually we are working with that. We are preparing ourselves, believing that in July we'll have something from the government.
Let's say the word kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. We know there are more issues to be discussed, and the Lord may give us another opportunity another time.
We will.
Yes.
Thank you.
Barikiwa sana.
Barikiwa.
Yeah.
Thank you.